Greetings YouTube. Does anybody remember that big furore that everyone kicked up about over Control's Ultimate Edition, specifically not having a free upgrade? Well, the Ultimate Edition, if you bought the Ultimate Edition of Control, came with a free upgrade from the PS4 to the PS5. However, if you had bought Control, the video game, and you'd bought the DLC, the Foundation and AWE, I think they're called, if you bought those separately, then you didn't qualify for the upgrade. Only if you've bought the Ultimate Edition that combines them all in a package. And a while ago I argued that, you know what, Control released way too long back really for them to give you a free upgrade. I can kind of see why people are pissed about it though. You know, because the Ultimate Edition basically has all the bits, and if everyone has all the bits, then they're upset they're not getting the upgrade, when if you have the whole package you are getting. It was a really weird thing that was going on. Anyway, some people are now going to be insanely pissed off because this month on PlayStation Plus, for the PlayStation Plus freebies, we have a PS4 game called Concrete Genie. I haven't played it. I've downloaded it, but I haven't had a go yet. And on the PS5, we've got two. We've got Destruction All-Stars, which I do want to have another look at, and Control Ultimate Edition. There are going to be a certain group of people out there, and the group of people I'm thinking of are specifically the people who do not own Control Ultimate Edition and also do not have a PS5. Those people are going to be really fucking pissed. Because obviously your PlayStation Plus freebies are only live for a month. So if you haven't qualified for a free upgrade because you don't have the Ultimate Edition of Control, and you can't get a PS5 in the next month or so, then you're not going to get this. I mean, I've downloaded it. I haven't got the DLC. This is the Ultimate Edition, and I don't have the extras. It's like the developers have suddenly said, you know what, screw it. Here you go. Take, enjoy, frolic. Couldn't they have just given everybody a... Right, so in the menu we've got the usual next-gen options. We've got performance or graphics. We can either go for 60 frames a second, or we can go for higher graphics with ray tracing. And that's fairly typical for the PS5 games. Now, my recording software will record 60 frames a second. My editing software will edit with 60 frames a second. But my editing software will not create 60 frame a second videos. For some reason my battery is low. It's because I haven't plugged it in for a while. But what was I saying now? That knocked me off course. My point is that I can't display 60 frames a second in my videos, even if I wanted to. So I'm going to start with 60 frames a second. I'm going to have a look at it, see how it looks, and I'm going to switch over to the graphics mode, because otherwise you guys are going to miss out on it.
I know I shut you out sometimes.
Can I just say, at this point, I love the fact that this building is shrouded at night. I mean, you can't even see the stars. I'm assuming that it is at night because of all the car headlights.
I found nothing.
Sorry, there's so much about this game I could go into and talk about.
It's like...
I think it's in performance mode, but it's not quite running at 60 frames a second. At least that's my feeling at the moment. Maybe it's because it's slightly... Maybe this is pre-rendered. No, it can't be pre-rendered, but it is a bit slower than 60 frames a second at the moment. Oh, now it looks like 60 frames a second. That's weird. Maybe the footage from before was kind of pre-rendered, but now it looks silky smooth. Obviously, again, you guys won't be able to tell, but it is.
And try to forget what they...
Menus switch smoothly. Good. You run across the hard floor and it does dit, 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 dit with the vibration. Then you walk across the carpet and it's doing a slightly bigger but slightly duller vibration. That's pretty cool. You know, this is definitely not 60 frames a second. This must all be pre-rendered. So they obviously haven't bothered to upscale this. Just the main gameplay. Which is a bit unfortunate because you notice the difference between one and the other then. Crap. My shooting is crap. One more there somewhere. There he is. Gotcha. Light combat. Simple gunshots, only 3 bad guys. Frame rate isn't struggling. Well, the frame rate, let's be honest, isn't even being tested. Let's see how cleansing the control point works on 60 frames a second. If it'll let me. Here we go. Yep, it's managing fine. Yep, silky smooth.
You did it.
Alright, so this is what the lighting is like on the 60 frames a second mode. It just sort of like coloured, like a light bar sort of follows you around. I am going to see if I can switch to the graphics mode. It may require me to restart the game, I don't know. Oh, immediately! Damn! That was an instant shift, and now we are definitely running at the much slower 60 frames a second. Wow, that is... Ooh, can I get rid of the motion blur? That's pretty bad. Oh, thank God. Film grain, get rid of. Motion blur, get rid of. Both of those take up extra processing power, I'll have you know, and they make it look shitter. That's a bit better. Yeah, god damn. After seeing it in 60 frames a second, now it looks awful with 30. But the lighting, the reflections look way better now. Yeah. God, that's a drastic improvement in visuals. It's only when you switch it over like that that you notice. The original control must have run faster than 30 frames a second though, because this does look pretty choppy even for it. Yeah, it is a pretty... The visuals are very choppy. I'll keep running with it for now though, because, well, why not?
There it is again.
Now, this might be a test of the admittedly slow 30 frames a second, because this is where we get all the particle effects being thrown at us. Doesn't seem to be slowing down, but then it's already relatively slow. No, what? I'm sorry. I've got to switch it back to. I've got to switch it back to to performance to see whether the frame rate is keeping up with it. It's not stuttering at all. It's running at 60 frames a second. Seems to be managing perfectly fine. I think I definitely prefer it with a higher frame rate rather than the lighting. Yeah, these things that demolish everything in their path. these things always did used to eat up a lot of processing power, and right now it's throwing debris around. It's not really putting the system under any stress. I don't think the game cares. Still running at 60 frames a second. In a weird kind of way, these things don't look quite as good on the smoother graphics. Because with the rougher display, it was harder to see what they were. Now you can see them a bit more clearly. I don't know, it makes them look a little bit less threatening. They're no less dangerous, obviously, in terms of gameplay, but I don't know. For some reason, they looked better when I couldn't see them as clearly. I can only partially see what's going on in front of me. But regardless, that seems to work. Frame rate didn't struggle. I'm still yet to run into something that actually makes it slow down. It's going to have to be like a late game battle, isn't it? I've been playing for just over an hour and nowhere even close to that point yet. Lots of explodey things, lots of things thrown. Uh-oh. Crap coming out of other places. Game does not appear to be struggling. Masses of explosions. It would have slowed down. It would have slowed down the previous version. That was insane, but nothing. Didn't acknowledge there was anything happening. That's impressive. Well, it is compared to the original, considering that it's exactly the same game. And I can only assume it's using the same assets. Surge? What's Surge? I remember a Surge. It must be part of the DLC. Yeah, loading times are much better now. Well, I've been playing for an hour and 3/4 and I still haven't found anything. I still haven't been involved in any severely hectic battles. That might be why I haven't seen anything that's really slowed it down. But there've been particle effects, there've been explosions, things that might have slowed it down in the past, but not putting it to any trouble. So it's definitely an improvement there. But I'm not going to sit here playing through the entire game just to see the particle effects later on. I'll probably play through it at a later date, but for now, yeah, I'd say it's performing way, way better. And I much prefer it in 60 frames a second. You don't appreciate 60 frames a second until you have it and then go back to 30. Damn. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm just about done with this video. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe and share, all that jazz. See you next time.